If you want to do a Lita Ford album cover presentation, you need somebody who's hot, blonde and rock and roll. I think Juliette ticks all these boxes, so here we go. My favorite tracks on Black are Killing Kind, which is catchier than most of the others, and Spider Monkeys, a bluesy song with a Hammond organ, bit of 60s retro stuff, very well played. Altogether, Black was less glamorous than the previous albums. Blame that on the 90s zeitgeist. Released on the smaller label ZYX Records, it wasn't distributed well and I'm afraid quickly forgotten, although it's not bad. Lita afterwards took a break for more than a decade, withdrawing from the music scene for the benefit of her family life. The start of the Lita Ford solo project was neither quick nor confident. 4 years after the Runaways had broken up, Joan Jett had already had a #1 hit with I Love Rock and Roll, but the songs on Out for Blood showed not much hit potential. Sales weren't helped by the atrocious cover artwork either, which was replaced by a simple studio pic of Lita in some countries. The CD issued later offered both cover pics. Lita herself said in an interview with Rock Power magazine, the songs were okay, but the production was poor. Also, she wasn't comfortable with the image created with the blood spiderwebs and all. Out for Blood was a first step, but the direction needed to be adjusted. The most recent album of Lita Ford is an enjoyable trip back to the sound of the 80s, as the title Time Capsule suggests. My favorite tracks are Killing Kind, Black Leather Heart, and Rotten to the Core, which was co-written by Gene Simmons. Returning to producer Mike Chapman, Lita attempted to do another one just like the massively successful third album, but it wasn't as easy as it seemed. Stiletto has a hit single, Hungry, a great Alice Cooper cover, Only Women Bleed, the touching ballad Lisa, but on the other hand a couple of cringe-inducing fillers like Big Gun or Cherry Red. The record is fun to play, but in my view not her best. A lot of fans must have told Lita what they thought about her new metal experiment Wicked Wonderland. She promised next time she'd do a real Lita Ford album, and she did. It feels less cheerful than her old songs when she sings I'm drawn to the dark side, the devil in my head, but it fits her heavy riffs. A strong comeback album. Larger Than Life is a heavy opener. After Lita and Stiletto had been polished a little too much, the fifth album sounds more rough, while still having hits like Playing with Fire and What Do You Know About Love. There may be a few fillers like Tambourine Dream on the B-side, but I think some reviewers were a bit too negative, for example in Kerrang magazine.
These days, Lita Ford just isn't dangerous enough. Dangerous Curves is an album full of decent enough songs, but she is in need of another balls-out metal record, like her debut, Out for Blood. She currently seems so intent on acceptance outside of the metal realm that she's missing her vocation.
In the same issue, bands like Carcass and Entombed are featured, which tells us that the idea what heavy means had changed somewhat between 1983 and 91. Anyhow, this album still had the 80s spirit, and I loved that. The second album, Dancing on the Edge, was a big step forward from Out for Blood. The songs had definitely more punch, from the opener Gotta Let Go to the gripping Fire in My Heart. Her solo career started taking off, and I think this was the first Lita Ford album I bought. In an interview with Kerrang magazine, she mentioned that especially in the UK and Germany things were going well, while the American market would be harder to conquer. In another interview with Crash magazine, Lita explained why she had a complete lineup change after the first album. The musicians of the original band didn't want to tour. Lita, however, wanted to go out and play shows, and she did that a lot for Dancing on the Edge, with the likes of Twisted Sister, Red, and Y&T. A long time had passed since the second album. A new management and new record label had been found, and in an interview with Metal Hammer magazine, Lita said that she now had become a real singer because she took singing lessons to improve her vocals, while previously she had focused on her guitar playing. She could do more with her voice now, handling also ballads more confidently, like her biggest single hit Close My Eyes Forever, the duet with Ozzy Osbourne. She enlisted more competent help. For example, Can't Catch Me was written by Motorhead's Lemmy. If I have anything to criticize about this LP, that it wears the stamp of its producer too obviously. Mike Chapman made it sound very smooth and silky, different from Dancing on the Edge, but I like it. And as far as the songs are concerned, every one of them is a hit. Kiss Me Deadly and Back to the Cave had been the first singles from the album, and then of course Close My Eyes Forever went gold. Well deserved. Thanks for watching and goodbye.